So, continuing the downtrend and the abject destruction of Rings of Power, we get this little tidbit coming out from, it was Friday, but I wasn't around. Actually, no, it was yesterday, but I wasn't around. I had other things to do yesterday. Rings of Power recast Orc leader Adar for Season 2. Former actor Joseph Mawle explains he wants to explore new characters and worlds. Well, I will say I read through the article. I read through what he said and how they're replacing people and things of that nature. And it was a nice send-off, you know. He said, hey, I'm going somewhere else because I would pretty much rather not to be in a pile of garbage. That's really what it kind of read. And well, you know what? Why don't we get down to it? Amazon Studios and Prime Video announced a major casting change for the upcoming second season of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Buried with a press release casting the addition of 7 new recurring cast members for the second season, Prime Video revealed that they recast Orc leader Adar, originally played by Joseph Mawle, with Sam Hasdelin. Hasdelin? Who knows? Yeah, he's gone. You know, one of the few characters people kind of liked, but kind of agreed with, because he actually kind of cared about the orcs, even though it was kind of weird because he was the bad guy. Yeah, he's gone. Again, sprinkles on a turd is still a turd. Am I supposed to be shocked? No, what they're trying to do is they're recasting. People are leaving. They're moving around. They're bringing new people on because they want to, you know, try to avoid the reality that this show was garbage. Nobody's watching it. And 2 weeks after the season finale came out, it's fallen off the Nielsen ratings. They have to rate it by minutes watched versus people watched. They have to rate it like that. Yeah, it got back up there on the minutes watched standpoint after the thing was done because people just wanted to binge it all at once. Because weekly model leads into the binge model. But nobody likes it. It's not on there anymore. Nobody's watching it. Nobody's rewatching it. It's so bad that in Brazil, they are offering food to watch the show. Nobody cared about Rings of Power. It was blasted in comments section. YouTubers made videos about it all the time. Again, I'll link down This is Mordor Country in the description below of this, linking it to Adam's channel, my good buddy the Renaissance Nerd, where we went through episode to episode EFAPing it, laughing at it because it was ridiculous. This show holds no torch, no flame, no nothing to Lord of the Rings. This show was a disaster, a bastardization, and a spit in the face of everybody, and everybody came out in full force to say the show was a disaster. It was awful. And now they're losing possibly one of the decent actors on the show. Again, sprinkles on a turd is still a turd. And as we get his little, his tweets here. I loved my time exploring Middle-earth and diving into Tolkien's mythology. You didn't really do it. I'm so honored that the character was liked. He was enjoyable, but as I've been saying over and over again, sprinkles on a turd. He cared deeply about telling you his story. What was his story? He was the first Uruk, because he has pronouns. It's Uruk. Though, as an actor, it remains my wish, my job description to explore new characters and worlds. Yeah, basically he says, hey, this show was a disaster. I didn't really enjoy it. The character liked it. I didn't really do it. And I'm going other places. Bye. He added, wishing all the best to the cast and crew for season 2. I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines. He probably really won't. He won't watch it. This is just, one of those I hated being here. Bye. Now, they also point out all the people that they decided to put in, along with Hazeline. Prime Video also revealed the other 6 actors are Gabriel Akudik? I'm probably saying that wrong. Yazan Zaitz Ator, Ben Daniels, Amelia Kenworthy, Nia Towell, and Nicholas Woodson. I don't know who any of these actors are. If I dig deeper, he looks familiar. Don't know. It'll come back to me eventually. They did not provide any details as to which characters the actors will be playing. So we might get even more recasts. We might get even more new characters for them to diminish. Even new characters for them to make up off the blue. You know, like they do so lovingly with Bronwyn, fake Isildur's sister, and so many other people that they did in this movie. They did this show. It wasn't a movie. It was a show. It was a disaster. It was a bastardization of all things good. It wasn't even a story. It was just things happening. Along with the announcement of these new actors, Amazon Studios head of global television Vernon Sanders trumpeted the success of the series, which has been ruthlessly panned by audiences, myself included. Go check out This Is Mordor Country. Links in the description below. Sanders stated, since its premiere, The Lord of the Rings of Power, has been bringing audiences together to experience the magic and wonder of J.R.R. Tolkien's magnificent Middle-earth. To date, Season 1 is the top original series for Prime Video in every region and has been viewed by over 100 million people worldwide. A truly global hit that speaks to the universal nature of powerful storytelling. No! Because you fell off of everything. Now, the Nielsen ratings are kind of hard to also grasp because they only track viewings on like Roku, things that have the Nielsen app installed, stuff like that. That being said, Amazon Prime is not bringing out any more of their numbers. They're just saying numbers. They're saying 100 million worldwide, you know, several people at the initial start over 2 episodes watched it. Oh, it got most plays over 24 hours, things of that nature. You know, big numbers, but then you see where those numbers are associated with, you know, like people versus minutes. Things start to change. The reality of the nature starts to change because, yeah, you can watch a show minute to minute. How many times do you come back? How many viewings? How do you track all this stuff? They don't tell us. So all we have to go off of is the Nielsen ratings. But this right here was a disaster because the show was a disaster. It was not this powerful storytelling movement. It was laughed at hysterically, and people that were laughing at it saw massive gains through that. They didn't see massive gains through the show. Specifically addressing the new actors, he stated, "We welcome these wonderful actors to our fellowship." Oh, don't you dare use that word. That is not your word. That is my word. That is our word. That's not your word. And look forward to telling more incredible second age stories in Season 2. Yep, try to hype up Season 2 because you know Season 1 was a disaster. You know it was a disaster. You know it was a flop. You know that was a $1 billion disaster. And also Season 2 isn't coming out for another 2 years. I'm pushing more towards 3 years because there's going to be reshoots. There's going to be edits. It's going to be another disaster. This whole thing's a disaster. And I'm laughing at it. I'm laughing because that's the only thing you can do. While Sanders claims the show is a truly global hit and touts its viewership numbers, Nielsen numbers in the United States indicate the show's audiences evaporated following the series' conclusion. Just 2 weeks after the season finale, Rings of Power no longer showed up on the Nielsen Top 10 chart. And oh, we got it right here. Guess what was still on there? You got The Watcher. You got Guillermo del Toro, Cabinet of Curiosities. From Scratch 2022. Love is Blind. Great British Baking Show. Unsolved Mysteries. The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale's over and it's still hitting there. Andor. Oh, that was a disaster. Big Mouth. Dahmer. Dahmer's on there. Dahmer's been on there for weeks. That show's come and gone. That was a binge-worthy show. People loved that show for some reason. I thought it was creepy. Yeah. You had a bunch of other shows, a lot of which I think are disasters, that still beat out this show. In fact, the show also saw a massive decline from its premiere date. The week of its premiere, the show topped the Nielsen charts, ranking in 1.253 billion minutes viewed. That's not people, that's minutes. How many people watch that? How are you tracking minute to minute? How are you doing that? That's the real question there. Because minute to minute, what does that really mean? Are you counting the pauses? Are you counting, stops and come back? How are you tracking minute to minute? And they do this. Top 20 Nielsen weekly streaming charts. And this was, so this is when it came out. You had Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Oh, that's a big number. But then you come down here, and its second week, it declined to 1.203 billion minutes viewed and fell behind Netflix's Cobra Kai series. And fact check me on this, because I could be getting this wrong, because I don't remember when it came out. I think it came out, and I think it went House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, Cobra Kai, binged on Cobra Kai. Go watch Cobra Kai. That was a fantastic show. But Cobra Kai is binged. Cobra Kai, I think that's how it came out, but I could be wrong. It could have come out before all this. But Cobra Kai was good. Cobra Kai's an established thing, and it destroyed Rings of Power. It fell behind Rings of Power fell behind Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai's on Netflix. It's binge-worthy. People love Cobra Kai. People hated Rings of Power. The series would see viewership fall below 966 million minutes viewed during the week ending October 2nd, when the 6th episode debuted. By the release of the season finale, the series did bounce back with 1.137 billion minutes viewed, albeit this number includes people likely attempting to binge the series in one go. Yes, because that's how these models work. That's why the weekly model is still superior than the binge model, because you can always binge something once it's done. I'm sorry to tell you that, Jeremy. That's why the binge model is inferior to the weekly model. I love you, Jeremy, but that's the truth. But yeah, obviously, once the show all comes out, people are going to watch it. You get the influencer girl, the Rings of Power super fan, Lord of the Rings super fan video, all that. The person that said, Galadriel, and her little TikTok live, Instagram live, whatever live that was, where she's saying, oh, I haven't watched Rings of Power yet. I've been watching House of the Dragon, and that's pretty darn good, but I'm going to binge it when it's all done. When I'm done with House of the Dragon, I'm going to binge it. And it has a lot to stand up to. Yeah, you know that girl? She binged it all. We haven't seen anything from her since then. We haven't seen other people since then. Nobody's been coming out and saying, Rings of Power is amazing, except for Chills, the media, and Amazon. Nobody else says it. We all point out how a disaster it was. Hell, we have numbers to track how awful it was. How nobody liked the show. Again, I hate tracking stuff minute to minute, because that doesn't prove any... That how am I tracking that? That's not a person. That's minute to minute. That could be somebody going off and just constantly replaying the show for all I know. So how does that equate to anything? But it still didn't top the initial premiere numbers. Oh, that's right. That's right. I went into a tangent there, but that's right. This little number here It's nowhere near its initial numbers. So people still didn't come back to it. You lost people. People came back to binge it, but then nobody stuck around. And it's fallen off. You see it comes up here. Oh, it makes it number 2 and then falls directly off. Now, why is that? Why is that? Because the show sucks. This article continues going on and talks about some stuff George the Giant Slayer pointed out that, like I said at the beginning, they're tempting people with food in Brazil to go watch this show. They're trying to force people to watch this disaster of a show. The show sucks. Nobody likes it. Everything's awful about it. One of the few things that, we kind of cheered on, and this is Mordor country, Adar, Adar, because he loved his orcs. He was a good dad to his orcs. He cared about his orcs, even though it was kind of weird. This man who's supposed to be the villain, who was made up, by the way, this man who's a villain, is one of the most loved characters for some odd reason. He's gone. The actor portraying him is gone. So what's going to happen next time he comes on? Is he going to have the same charisma? Is it going to be the same person? Probably not. Probably going to have a completely different outfit, different aspect to him. This super important character for season 1 has now changed. Because the actor knew it was a disaster. The actor knew it was shit. And so did all we. But let me get your guys' comments down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with all your friends. Hit that notification bell and before you hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.